You're listening to the sounds of WNE Posse.
Yeah.
Rock shake.
All I wanna do is on my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, and you'll never get bullshit here. I just want to open this up, mentioning that me and Colby had been talking how the Denver Bronco organization, it seems, is already showing signs of giving up on Drew Lock. There was a unconfirmed report out circulating that, and it wouldn't surprise me that it would be true, about John Elway mulling over bringing in Dwayne Haskins. In discussing the whole Drew Lock situation and the Broncos, the cracks are already starting to show of yet another quarterback getting ready to be buried. When I started making these videos, I started a video like back in the early days called Welcome to Denver Broncos, where quarterbacks come to die. And, oh, how dare you say that, you know. And we're probably looking at the embryonic stages of this organization getting already wanting to get rid of Drew Lock. The unconfirmed report of the Broncos being interested in Haskins should not surprise anyone. And I've always made a reference to John Elway being very myopic when it comes to looking at players. And this was spurred on by the paranoia of looking around in our own division, the Denver Broncos division, and seeing what I would call mainly the rise of Justin Herbert, or Hebert, however he would like to pronounce that. So everybody's freaking out, and I'm sure John Elway in his myopathy, looking at, Dwayne Haskins, oh my God, it's another quarterback coming at us. No, we've got to abort, get a new quarterback. I can see the panic. I could see the panic because John Elway and the rest of the feel-good fans that follow his way of thinking don't realize, the Chargers have been getting a lot of praise for the last few years in player personnel decisions. So guess what? Hebert goes to a functional team and he flourishes. Now, maybe he goes to the Washington Redskins where Haskins is. Do you think he's going to have the success there? Or maybe even the Denver Broncos, where nobody seems to understand there's a pass protection problem here. Now, take a look at Melvin Gordon. Now, we at Mile High View were never thrilled about the Gordon pickup. We're all a bunch of idiots over here, right? We're all a bunch of idiots. Now the guy's got a DUI. Why, if this guy is able to play, I don't understand why the NFL puts up with that. I mean, we have a lady here who was hit by a drunk driver, a mother, working mother, because the guy got drunk, went speeding on the wrong side of the highway. They had to crack open her skull because her brain's so swollen. So I'm just can't understand how the NFL can let these guys play at all and not suspend them immediately. I mean, a player can, take essentially a vitamin mineral. It's called a sports enhancement, and they suspend them for that. So I don't get, Gordon shouldn't be playing. Okay, Gordon shouldn't be playing. So this is yet another Elway as usual. Yet another Elway as usual. And I want to say something about the Chargers and Dwayne Haskins and how the Melvin Gordon thing fits in. It fits in because they knew they were never going to put up with Gordon's crap. They said, you can stay, hey, buddy, you can stay off the field as long as you want. We're not paying you. And the Chargers couldn't wait to unload. Well, of course, into the loving arms of John Elway, who can't see the trees from the forest. And the Chargers are moving forward, and they haven't skipped a beat. And as a matter of fact, Melvin Gordon hasn't really contributed. You could say this last game was his best game, but as a receiver, he hasn't really done much. He fumbled one game away. But largely, he's been a disappointment for the price tag. But the bottom line is, the Chargers are having success not simply because of Hebert. They're having success because they have a organization that's functional. They can look and see talent and bring them up through the ranks. And now it appears that even the Raiders can do that. Now that Al Davis is out of the picture, meddling. And we brought this up, why everybody was talking about, where are the running backs? So are we going to use? How are we going to use Lindsey? How are you going to use Gordon? No, let's talk about that. This channel talked about the Denver Broncos becoming a expansion team because of dysfunction. Sandy Clough of Sports Talk Radio was the one who brought up Melvin Gordon is a reflection of a dysfunctional team. And while the argument can be, say, well, Elway didn't make him drink and drive. Well, Elway brought him here when, again, the Chargers knew better. When an organization that's good, that is now bringing up good players to put around a quarterback, can see the light, Elway cannot. And we're seeing this repetitiveness. And I know what the knee-jerk reaction is going to be with the feel-good crowd. Oh, we got to get away from free agency. Oh, really? The same agency that helped win every single Super Bowl trophy the Denver Broncos have. We're going to walk away from that model. Brilliant. Brilliant. This clown show in Denver really has gone on long enough. I mean, it's just one gaffe after another. And now the big talk in Sports Talk Radio is it ripping? Is it lock? Look, the game plan better be, playing New England, is run the football, don't get away from that. And if Drew Lock is pummeled and Rippon is pummeled, I don't want to hear a bunch of crap about changing the quarterback. There needs to be a cultural change in Denver. No quarterback is going to save the Broncos. Now, this other Bronco channel wasn't simply just reporting the consideration of Haskins. They were literally selling this idea. Well, look at Block. He's shown he's injury prone. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'll be the first to agree that the first injury came with a holy roller that never should have happened. The second injury, though, the guy had not a prayer in the world. That coverage broke down so fast. There was nothing to do but just bite the bullet. And there's just way too much of that going on. There's no way you can bring a quarterback, this is a part of the dysfunctionalness. We have become so used to poor pass protection. It's like it's blended into the scenery. Like, you just accept that. That should be unacceptable to the fans. That now this thing has been going on for years. Mike Munchak was brought in, to fix this. He's had success everywhere, and for some reason, he can't seem to have success here. Part of the dysfunctional aspect of the Denver Broncos is trying to fix a player that was brought in by John Elway just to prove. I'll prove it. I'll prove he's good. At the expense of the rest of the line. Makes absolutely no sense. I would really like to see all the shareholders of all the Bolin shareholders at least agree on one thing. And that is to petition the NFL to remove John Elway from making personnel decisions. With a clause in that saying that if you are caught making any personnel decisions, you will be terminated on the spot.